It is the Matt Mosley Show on Rogue Media Network. And good to be with you. Day, whatever this is. We've done 4 days, I believe, of shows. And Scotty's still with me, Scotty Swingler. So I'm happy about that. Scotty's doing an excellent job. He's got a lot to balance. And Scotty, I mean, I don't know, this feels a little early in our time together to bring in the guest we have planned for today. In fact, I've started to second guess it. We've had 2 legends and, well, 3 if you want to count Pete Souza. And I mean, I think some could. I mean, by the way, TNT and HBO Max, they've been playing up that new thing. I mean, I'm glad they found somebody from Rice to do it. I mean, I think everybody was wanting to kind of see what was on Rice's mind when it comes to the Big 12. But no, that's a pretty cool little show they do inside the Big 12. And so our own Pete Souza getting some buzz on that. So we've had Scott Drew, Pete Souza. I'm not going to do this like the 12 Days of Christmas and start each show with like all we had. But I just kind of want to let people know like what they can expect. And Drew Pearson, the Pro Football Hall of Famer, yesterday. Thought that was good. Today, we go to an old friend. And, you know, Scotty, before I knew how much time you would have to devote to this, and you may decide, you may be sitting me through a trial period because I can be a handful. But, you know, there was a little bit of a talk like, you know, would you and Cam Stuart want to go back like we used to do in radio and do something together? And my answer was, yeah, but no, because like Cam's like my little kid brother and I love him. And so there's a lot of like upside to something like that because we just have a great relationship. The downside is you're inviting Baylor to get mad and he just cannot help himself. He stays in hot water, and we'll bring this up when he's on. I don't want to be like, oh, Mosley's talking out of school here. I spent half of my time when he was on my show, like trying to get him credentialed, trying to get him out of hot water, because he is the quintessential, and I get it, you know, like you and I, when we put out a show, like whatever headline you choose needs to be kind of something that might grab some people. And we don't want to mislead them. I know our friends at Pardon My Take, by the way, I've been on that show before, did something where they had said they had Taylor Swift on, but it was actually a guy named Taylor Swift. You know, we're not going to mislead our audience like that. But yeah, I had to spend a lot of time trying to, because Cam is always thinking, what headline can I put on my podcast that just grabs everybody? And to a certain extent, that's understandable. But then it's like, it'll just be a little too much. You know, it'll be a little bit too, whatever, the clickbait would be the word. And I think Mark Cuban used to come on and say it was like click porn or something like that, he would call it. But anyway, we will have Cam Stewart on at 2:00 today, unless I decide to cancel, unless I just am like moved by the spirit. And I just think, you know what? It'd be better to have like a local pastor. It'd be better to have Scotty's pastor. I mean, I think we ought to have a segment, Scotty, where it's like, what's on Scotty's pastor's mind? Because that, to me, you know, that's a very important part of your life. You have been involved in ministry. And so, you know, at some point we'll probably need to check in with your pastor, and I'll probably coach the pastor up, not only on like what passages to use and what I think he should be doing in the pulpit, but like how to best minister to you. Like I'll let him know.
He needs that. Yeah.
I'll let him know, because here's the deal. And our Christian friends will appreciate this. One thing, and other shows that come on after us, this kind of talk would make them uncomfortable, and that's okay. Everybody's different. But like, I am a friend to the pastor. But if I'm anything, for some reason, the pastor's feel like they can kind of be themselves around me. Now, I don't know what that says about me. I mean, hopefully that's a positive thing, but I think it's hard for pastors to have true friendships because they have to lead the flock. They can't, I think they inherently feel like they can't let people get too close to them.
Yep.
And I'm a guy that even if I don't go to their church, for some reason, they kind of feel comfortable just being themselves around. So, Scotty, if you want me to, like, if your pastor's like, I just don't have any true male friendships. Now, I would not encourage them to have, this will sound real old school Baptist, and this is not totally fair to women and all that stuff. But, like, I don't think pastors really need to be out there having a lot of female friendships. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that leads them to a great place.
Yeah.
But, just tell your pastor, say, Mosley, he's in the business of being a great friend to pastors, like the guy at First Baptist. Like, I think Matt and I would really hit it off. I was too young to hit it off with Ron Durham because Ron was telling those Andy Griffith stories.
Well, it's Ron Durham's son that is my pastor at the moment.
Wow.
John Durham.
Wow. Yeah. Well, then I could relate because his dad was my pastor back in the day.
There you go.
Ron would get in that tone. He'd be like, "Thanks for coming out, guys, to the today. We're gonna have a good." And Ron was one of those guys. He could give you a little fire and brimstone, but he did it in such a positive sort of way that it was like, well, that didn't seem too bad. I know Ron was probably telling me I need to really clean some things up, but he did it in a very positive manner. So, and it was just always kind of like, "Hey, thanks for coming down to Columbus Avenue. We appreciate you guys. And I'm not going to really get in too high of an octave here. I'm going to kind of stay in this octave for a good while, but we appreciate everybody who came down here. And I realize Sid Hudson's out there, Baylor pitching coach. Mickey Sullivan's in the crowd today, and a lot of good Baylor. And see, that was a very comfortable place for people with Baylor athletics because Ron was going to be a great pastor, but he wasn't going to they didn't want to be roped in. They already had enough work. And they didn't want Ron like, "Hey, Mickey, or Sid, can you give your testimony today?" They just wanted to go there, serve, and just get on out. And Ron allowed them to do there at Columbus Avenue. All right, that's good to know. John Durham. What church is that again, Scotty?
Highland Baptist.
Good. I feel like that guy out at Harris Creek gets a little too much attention. And I'm sure he's nice, but I'm glad we can give some other churches attention. And that other guy on staff out there, John Elmore, is a great friend of mine. And I hear he's a great. I hear he's a Jim Dandy of a speaker. I just know him as one of my best friend's little kid brothers. So the thought of John Elmore up there, like speaking in front of thousands and being an effective speaker, seems kind of weird to me. But I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear him sometime. I think he's got an incredible testimony. And so that is great. All right, Scotty, one thing I'll try to do, because I know it's happening, is not move around so much because that camera is really hot today. It's a camera, and I know you've already tried to say, Mosley, let's get you a different camera. I'm just so thankful like something is working in my life. Like, and I'll jinx it, but think about how many times already, Scotty, we've had moments like, I don't know, Mosley can't get on. Oh, he can't get on the Susie show. Like, I literally thought we would probably do our first 4 shows by phone, and you would just have to put that little icon. Can you put that icon back? I like that little. People like that little cartoon.
He's hiding there in the corner there. Everybody can see him there.
Oh, there he is. There he is, just peeking up. Yeah, trying to. Oh, good. Yeah. I thought I'd show the hair today, by the way. Okay. I'm a man. Got a decent amount of hair. And I like to wear a cap. Yesterday, somebody asked why I was wearing a cap from like another radio group, but it's okay. I mean, we just do different things. If Rogue will present me with gear, I'll wear it. Like at the Green and Gold pregame, which will be, by the way, 4:00 is when that starts out at the Camp Fimfo tent. And that's going to be Friday night. I'll be on the air by 5. Pete's going to be with us. Faith, she's great. And then, of course, Scotty will be kind of directing, and he'll be on a lot. And then we have a lot of great supporters that are going to be out there. And Scotty, if you want to mention who they are, that's great. But tell folks, like, what's the easiest way to describe that? Because I know there's some work happening. You need to walk across MLK over to where like George's used to be. Hobby and those guys have a big tent over there. Sikkim 365 for years has had like a place kind of over near where we are. Yep. So that's cool. I mean, for all we know, there'll be like 7 competing pregame shows, and that's okay. Like, I like that. I like a little competition because I'll be out there like taunting. I'm going to go over there to that Baylor alumni tent where I used to have a stage. They had a beautiful stage for me, and I'm just going to sit there and heckle them. I'm going to be like, guys, it's more fun over here across the street. Come with that. So I'm going to spend the first hour while you're on over there bringing people to us. I'll be kind of like the carnival barker. Like, come experience Mosley and the gang. Yeah, but tell people exactly how to find us, though.
No. Here's what we need to do. We need to hire someone. If you're watching this,
we'll hire a sandwich board. Like to wear a sandwich board?
No. Someone to go around to every tailgate at 4:00 and be like, turn it on. So that every tailgate has this on. That's what we need to do.
The TV feed. Yeah, you're talking about
YouTube. Yeah. Everybody's got YouTube.
YouTube, KWTX. I just wanted to make sure we give everybody the proper, credit. But yes, YouTube. Are you saying that most people can access YouTube on their phones? Is that what?
Yes, you can access. Can access YouTube anywhere you have data. So, man, it's gonna be a great time. And I would just encourage everybody. Right now, you can go to Green and Gold Game Day on YouTube, and you will find the channel. Subscribe to it. Not a lot of subscribers yet. That's okay. It'll pop after week 1, for sure. And jump into Green and Gold Game Day with us. It really is. I mean, listen. Like, I don't know how many schools will have a 3-hour pregame program dedicated to just their school every week. By the way,
ours will. Yeah.
Faith Lynch and I have already been working really hard this week on a feature story that is going to be awesome. Shahan J. Raja, Matt didn't mention him, CBS Sports, wrote the football article of the year on Texas Tech football, unfortunately, but he's a Baylor guy coming on with us.
Why do I get called out for not mentioning him? I'm so sorry. I feel horrible.
We will have some sort of appearance, probably not in person. I tried really hard in person, but we will have some sort of commentary from former Baylor and Auburn quarterback Jarrett Stidham. And I think Matt Mosley is working really hard on getting us a Baylor legend who wore the last iteration of those chrome gold helmets to come join us as well.
All right. Now I reached the agent. I reached Micah Parsons' agent. No, I reached the agent.
Micah Parsons, Green and Gold Game Day.
Micah Parsons will be stopping by. Do we have a breaking news sounder yet? I feel like we need, when I need to, because that's the great thing about this. Because the thing I don't like about podcasts is like something happens and I want to react and I'm like, oh wait, this will be 5 hours removed by the time people are watching this. This is actually so. And by the way, this becomes a podcast. People can listen later, and later they'll be able to, In fact, Scotty will probably clean some of this up, cut out about 5 minutes of whatever I've done here. Okay, but I do want like a breaking news type.
I'm making a list.
Alert.
I'm making a list of assets we need to get together. One of them is you asked for a college fight song theme for our count,
like a drum line or something.
Yeah, for our confidential segment. And now I'm going to need a little breaking news alert sound. We can.
Oh, and I want you to have
together. Yeah,
I want you to have ready for me like every fight song of who Baylor plays.
Oh, goodness.
And then like all the old SWC fight songs. Like occasionally I'd like to reserve the right to go, hey, can we hear a little bit of the U of H fight song? SMU's coming up. That's easy. That's coming around the mountain. Na, 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 na. That's the best dressed band in the land. I would love to get some of the SWC fight songs. and I think that would be good to be able to go to. Woo, man! Earlier today, I was looking at Paul Skeens. I'm just watching some videos of him. 99 mile per hour on the paint. Whoa. All right, here's the breaking news. Scotty, just make a sound for me. Just say some form of sound, that because I heard you screaming about something the other day. I was like, what is Scotty doing? It was like about the new chrome helmets, and you had this high pitch. So don't do that, because that was very off-putting. And in fact, I talked to some of your listeners, and they were very upset. No, that was a little bit too much for my taste. But give me some form of breaking news sounder, please, right now. Okay. It's not bad. Okay, I actually like that. I like that you even know what an old school breaking news thing would sound like. Okay, for a 32-year-old dude, that's pretty good. All right, Evan Carter could be out for the year. He's had trouble all year. He started the year in the minors. He came up, helped the team some, got hit by pitch yesterday, left Thursday's game after getting hit on the wrist. Bochy is just said on the flagship for the Rangers 105.3 that he has a fracture in his wrist. So he is Evan Carter, and I would imagine that'll pretty much knock him out for the rest of the season. All right. And some of you have moved on from the Rangers, sadly. I understand. I'm not mad at you for that, but this is what is happening. All right. We do have at about 25 after, 30 after, we'll do what we call Campus Confidential. And we got some major breaking news today, and it involves the SEC, and so we'll need to do that. By the way, Scotty, the first game is going to be fun for a lot of reasons. The chrome helmets, all the uniform stuff. There's going to be a drone show, a drone light show out at McLean at halftime. Does that sound right? Let it get good and dark, and then do a really nice drone show. I hope that doesn't interrupt the Bug Wub, the Baylor Golden Wave Band, but let's do a good drone show. Scotty, does that sound right? At halftime, is that when the drone show happens?
I'm gonna tell you something about me, Matt.
You don't care?
If there's one thing I just don't give any, it's a curse word coming to my mind. We're not going to say it on the air about at a Baylor football game. It's a drone show. I just don't care. I just don't care. I didn't even read the announcement. I saw the graphic.
Some people do, so I think it's at halftime. Colorado is adding a drone show versus BYU, and military flyovers versus Georgia Tech. This news just coming back. Also Arizona. So the Buffaloes, as if the great Dion's not enough, they're bringing in all kinds of flyovers and game day improvements at Folsom Field. I mean, this Jerry Jones thing heated up last night. I mean, it's a little, I want everything to happen during our show. All right. That's why. So this thing started happening last night, and there was a lot going on, and we're going to let you hear some of it. We're going to react to it. But Jerry is basically throwing out his reasoning for why he likes to go directly to the player, and why he believes that he already has a deal with Micah Parsons. I mean, I think this is why Micah is so dejected and so unhappy in a lot of ways, is because Jerry is kind of clowning on him. By every time he mentions that he does have a deal done and they agreed to the terms, it reinforces this idea that the player did something irresponsible. And Jerry has gone in the aftermath of the drop of the new documentary. Jerry's gone on the offensive, and he's doing like a whole media show kind of thing. And I thought he was just doing Michael Irvin a solid going on his YouTube show. Well, today on the show, Get Up, that's a show on ESPN involving Stephen A. Smith, Jerry and Stephen appear to do like a live interview. I don't know if they taped that and it made it look live, whatever. It looked kind of live to me. And it happened at the Cowboys, at the Star. And Jerry is desperately, seemingly trying to win this negotiation in the public eye. I do not know why that Stephen or Charlotte, those are his kids, two of his kids, or even Jerry Jr., I don't know why they don't just say, hey, man, I don't think any of this is really going to change the narrative, but Jerry is trying to do so. Now, because it's like Scotty is so good at editing things, it's gonna mess him up, because it's almost like I have a new toy in my life. I'm not calling you a toy, Scotty, but I'm just saying the ability to kind of grab anything I want, video, graphics, tweets. Like, I'm going to probably lean in to that a little bit much. So at times, Scotty, you'll have to put up some boundaries, and you'll have to say, Mosley, I'm with my daughter, trying to raise my daughter. It is about 11 o'clock or midnight. Okay. I got stuff going on at the house. You'll have to say, but this is kind of exciting. In these early days of the show, Scotty's ability to handle all these different things excites me. I like it. And I understand most people that do YouTube shows have been experiencing these kinds of things for a while. This is sort of new to me. So, I feel like a kid in a candy shop. All right. Here's what I want to do first, and we'll react to it. This was Jerry Jones last night, and this was probably done yesterday at some point. They released it yesterday evening, and this started getting a lot of attention. This is Jerry on Michael Irvin's YouTube show. Like, I honestly think that's a good name for a show. Like, I really would like to change mine. Instead of the Matt Mosley, I just want it to be the YouTube show, or the Mosley YouTube show. But I think we're calling this the Matt Mosley show, because it's very clever. Okay, let's listen to this. And this is Jerry Jones joining the Michael Irvin show and trying to explain and shed light on the latest. And this is the part that really gets me. It's really interesting. He wants to let people know just how much he blew Micah away with this offer. Let's listen in. This is Jerry with Michael Irvin.
Send the details to the agent. The agent told us to stick it up our ass.
Wait. Now, see,
just so you're clear.
Wait. What do you mean? So wait. What do you mean? Because people on that.
Mike and I talked, and then we were going to send it over to the agent. And we had our agreements on term, amount, guarantees, everything. We were going to send it over to the agent. And the agent said, don't bother because we've got all that to negotiate. Well, I'd already negotiated. I'd already moved off my mark over several areas. And so the issue, very frankly, is we've had the negotiation in my mind. And the agent's trying to get his nose in it right now and try to come in there and improve off the mark that we'd already said. It's the mama-daddy deal. You go into mama, and she won't do it. And she's the boss, so she won't do it. So you run into daddy, daddy says do it, and then you go back in and say, mama, daddy said it was all right. It's the old mama-daddy deal. We've all been there and done that. Well, we've got this thing resolved in my mind for the Dallas Cowboys. And we've got it done. And if the agent wants to finish up the detail, which is should, and do all the paperwork, and he can do that. And we're ready to go. But as far as the amount of money, the years, the guarantees, all of that, we negotiate that.
Now, Michael, who is a longtime friend, and we used to do radio together in Dallas, knows full well that, like, I'm sure Michael and Jerry have talked about negotiations before and talked, face to face, because Michael and Dion, even Emmett to a certain extent, had a direct line to Jerry's office at times. And they, and Jerry and everybody had huge respect for Michael, although he caused some of the gray hairs by getting in trouble off the field and all the things that happened, especially late in his career. But Michael, and I don't know, I need to go back and watch the whole thing, but what Michael probably needed to do after that, and maybe he did, is just say, now, Jerry, I had an agent. You and the agent, I mean, we might have had good talks and everything, but this is like, what world do we live in? There are only, Arian Foster was one of them, and there have been a couple of NFL players over the years that like doing their own contracts. Maybe John Runyon did it back in the day, the old Eagles player who became a U.S. congressman. But for the most part, you hire an agent. I mean, I had an agent over the years, and that the whole point is so you like sort of keep in good stead with ownership and have a good relationship and just let the agent do all the dollars and do all the uncomfortable stuff. This is crazy that Jerry just sort of thinks that he was supposed to be able to literally put the parameters of a deal and agree on something and just send it over the agent to rubber stamp. He has continued to undermine and try to make this agent look like nothing over the years, whether it be David Dunn, whether it be Lee Steinberg, who was Aikman's agent. There have been agents from Baylor, Van McElroy, Vic Vines did some stuff as an agent. I mean, like a lot of these guys have been agents. They have management has a good relationship. Steven and the people who handle the contracts for the Cowboys generally stay in good stead. You don't go to war with the agent publicly and try to undermine them. By the way, the agent has already denied saying that, to which I would say Jerry was probably, as he likes to put it, jiving. Jerry was saying it, stick it up his A. Jerry was just saying that was kind of the feeling he got. I don't know if he was saying that that's exactly the way the agent termed it. And so, of course, now the agent has said, no, I didn't say that. That's untrue or whatever. This whole thing's kind of an embarrassment because Mike has gotten lost. I mean, it really feels like, and then Jerry keeps coming back, and you'll hear it again, and a clip will play you in a little bit. Jerry gets into this mama daddy thing. Well, that's sort of demeaning. What he's insinuating is he's gotten one thing from mama, which I guess is Jerry in this analogy, and then the players run back over to the agent and say, well, I mean, I need to get, or I don't know who's the mom and who's the kid in this whole thing. But again, it's all demeaning. It's all Jerry basically saying, I'm the man, I'm the big dog here, and these are children. These people are basically being children. That's what Jerry's trying to insinuate here. Man, it really is bad that this thing has gotten to this point. And the truth of the matter is they could let this thing play out like they did with Dak and let him play this season and maybe do a franchise tag. I mean, the problem is Micah is not wired like Dak. Dak is a businessman, like a real buttoned up, unemotional. Now, he's emotional when he needs to be, but he is much more like Aikman was early in his career and throughout his career, just as far as a personality. Micah is more like, now Charles Haley's too far out there, but someone like that has that kind of emotion. Now, again, Charles Haley was going through real mental health issues and really was kind of scary at times with some of the things he was doing. So I'm not saying Micah's like that, but he edges more in that direction as an emotional type player where Dak is not. That's why I'm saying the Cowboys have to know that this thing is going to stay ugly. Now, he may go out there and play great and all that and be there for his teammates because he can't afford to miss these games from a financial perspective. But this thing may get uglier before it gets better. All right, let's now listen to, this is Jerry Jones this morning on with Stephen A. Smith. And this is more of the mommy and daddy stuff that he was talking about. And the thing I want to talk about after this is about like where I think this deal came in, like what I think Jerry has on the table. But I think Jerry in this answer is a little more clear as to what is irking him. So let's listen to Jerry's appearance on and watch it. I cannot believe we get to do this, Scotty. I mean, you talk about a guy who's just been released from radio prison. I mean, to watch these things is so great on the Mosley YouTube presentation. Here is Jerry with Stephen A.
Not doing the old mother-dad deal. How many times have you seen the little rascal so clever go in there and mama told him, you're not going to get it. And goes in to daddy, who only sees him after 5 in the afternoon, wants to love him, and says, you can have it, son. You can have that before dinner. And he goes back in and says, Mama, Daddy said I could have it. That's the old mom, dad, been around since the beginning of time. I'm not going to go for that here. That's what's happening.
You're not going for it?
I'm not going for it. No. But we've had a very, very strong negotiation. Now, by the way, frankly, it wouldn't have made any difference what the negotiation was. Guess who has to be comfortable for this to work?
Micah.
And who else?
You.
Hello. There's not room for a third. There's not room for a third. This will be a good one.
Scotty, I want to start doing that more with you. Like when we do Campus Confidential, I'll just say, hello. I mean, I just think I like how Jerry did. Now, here's one of the issues with Jerry right now. Jerry still thinks he's filming this documentary. Like he's not only promoting the documentary, and I've been in a million interviews with him, and I know how he talks, and I know like what his presentation is, but he's so intoxicated right now with himself that these interviews are an extension of the documentary. As I joked yesterday, and I think I saw you, Scotty, retweeting, not that I'm keeping score on who's retweeting, but I may have seen you. I think Jerry's out there trying to put together a bonus episode. I think he's trying to put a 9th episode together. And maybe it's going to be this whole Micah thing. Because in Jerry's mind, it's always, and he said it, he admitted it's like a soap opera. He admitted it in like the first episode. It's a soap opera, and he knows how to fuel it, and he knows it's 365 days a year. And the thing he doesn't want to say, but that he understands, is that it can still be a great soap opera and keep everybody, entranced, even without the winning, even without the playoff wins. And that's so maddening to fans. But what are the fans going to do? Think they're going to stop watching? Think they're going to stop watching the Cowboys games? No evidence of that. I mean, first of all, because it's the first game of the season. And second of all, because it's the Eagles. This first game of the season will set probably every record ever. I mean, it will set all sorts of records. The thing I was going to mention to you, Scotty, and our folks, is just that Jerry is trying to get it out there that he made like an enormous offer. And he wants it out there that this is the biggest non-quarterback deal ever. And what that's about is, again, trying to make the agent and the player appear foolish, to appear that, hey, I came off my mark. I moved exactly where I was asked to move, and then we sent the contract over, and now they won't do it. Now they want to negotiate off of what I already thought I negotiated. So Jerry is trying to sell this as them, reneging on the deal. And that is the whole thing. That is what he is trying to paint them out. Now, again, nobody totally buys that, because the whole reason you have the agent is to get them to the table. And Jerry went in with an end around, and he headed it off to the pass. And I don't know why he thinks by saying this over and over again that the public is going to come over to his side. Because where the public really leaves him, as if they haven't already, is if Micah misses a game or two and they lose. And then there's going to be, go back to the old Emmett days, where Emmett, not the first Super Bowl, but I believe it was the next year, had a holdout. Again, that was prior to free agency, whole different animal. Emmett was out of contract at the time. The Cowboys have the upper hand in the sense that they got one more year left on the contract. They got the franchise tag, and that's the hammer. And Jerry loves holding the hammer over players. Doesn't mean he won't lose the negotiation and end up giving up huge money. What he has to decide is, can we function? Can we function as an organization with this guy unhappy the entire season? And that's what he's trying to decide right now.
Yeah, and you didn't even mention, Matt, that on the heels of these Jerry Jones appearances, as you said, trying to make Micah and his agent look stupid, Micah Parsons, and this is more significant for the Gen Z folks than for me and certainly for you, went through his Twitter and his Instagram, scrubbed mention of the Cowboys from those social media sites, and then posted a picture of him doing a peace out on Instagram like this. So I know he put out the statement 2 weeks ago that he was going to go play somewhere else, and that hasn't led to anything just yet. But Micah is continuing to publicly, and it could be a negotiation tactic on his part, or that dude does not want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't think we're talking about just missing a game or two. I think we're talking about, is that dude willing to sit out at this point until they trade him? And it's not, and I don't think it's about the money at this point. I think it's about Jerry Jones and his ego and this attempt for 2 weeks to make him look bad, from the injury comments at the top of camp to this crap yesterday.
Yeah, it's not pretty right now. And man, I tell you, Scotty, we've just done one of the longer opening segments in the history of radio / YouTube shows. I love it. I love what we're doing. I do want to get to Campus Confidential, though. In fact, people have been vying and competing over, like, who gets to sponsor that and who's in charge of that. And by the way, as we're speaking, we're closing deals and we're finalizing a few things. And man, Central National Bank, what's up, Brian Fonville? Love you, buddy. Veronica, Joe, the Nesbitt family. Wow, what a strong Waco family that is. And then the owners of that bank. Whew. We're talking about the titans of the industry. We're talking about some of the biggest names in the history of American politics. Whoa. C&B is owned by some heavy hitters. And, of course, they're joining up with the Mosley Show, as they have been for years. And then Craig Cherry and his gang, Scott James, Sigmund, Johnson, here they come. Here they come. They're over there right now. They're right in the middle of it. I mean, they're lawyers, okay? They got to study everything Scotty sent them, making sure Scotty didn't try to pull one over on them, which he would never do, okay? A man that wears his cap backwards, he never plays any funny business when it comes to contracts. Let's do some Campus Confidential. Let's do that next.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Unlock a world of convenience with Mosley Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mulleybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. Unlock your full potential with Onnit, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, Onnit has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now. At Angel Bliss, we believe every parent's journey is a beautiful adventure. Our mission is to make it joyful and stress-free with thoughtful, safe, and innovative products. Born from a love for family, we promise peace of mind for parents and comfort for babies. From playtime to bedtime, every Angel Bliss product is designed with care, reliability, and a style to nurture the special bond between parent and child. Angel Bliss, creating happy memories, one baby at a time. Visit us at angelbliss.us. Angel Bliss.
It is the Matt Mosley Show on the Rogue Media Network. Good to be with you and having a big time. Scotty, I'm sending you things as we speak. We got Baylor basketball breaking news. I just noticed, I don't think my daughter's on this, and I'm going to have to kind of remind her she needs to stay on top of this. But the 12th man, the first ever fully online ticket pool for this first A&M football game. My daughter is now a Texas A&M student. Pulled a record number of over 40,000 student tickets. See you next Saturday. Goodness gracious! I mean, that's Scotty. Imagine 40,000 of your students. And of course, they have about 70 to 75,000 students, but 40,000 of them pulling tickets for a game. I mean, how in the world do you save at a place where the adults love going to games? How in the world do you do that? Have only 60,000 for the alums and the fans.
Well,
40,000 for the students. It's crazy.
I think with the new stadium additions, that leaves about 70,000 for adults. I think that thing's pretty well over 100K at this point.
Wow. I know at one point they were trying to, Texas and A&M were trying to see if they could have like 1,000 or 500 more than the other, which should not shock any of us. All right. I'll tell you what, Scotty, let's do something we call Campus Confidential.
Well, Matt, I'll go ahead and share the breaking news you shared with me. Did a little quick conversion so we could get this photo thrown up here. Baylor announcing an exhibition against Indiana in Indianapolis on October 26th to get their basketball season rolling. Thoughts on this, Matt Mosley?
Wish it were just a regular game, just put it on TV. Hopefully it will be on some form of TV. Maybe, I don't know if it says, but maybe we can do it via some website. You would think they would try to do it somewhere. I'm glad it's an exhibition that people can attend. I kind of hope that Baylor would stop going to, that it was not very fun playing at Gonzaga. It was not fun playing near Michigan State's campus. I would think early season going to those people's places, and I know that's technically Indianapolis and Indiana's in Bloomington, but still it's close enough. Indiana fans will show up. I mean, they'll be hot and heavy in that. They got a brand new coach. I can't even remember who their coach is. Do you know off the top of your head? By the way, that conversion you just did, whoa, man, that right there was impressive.
For whatever reason, Baylor posts all their photos on Twitter as JFIF files, and those do not play with StreamYard. So we got to use the little conversion real quick, get it to a PNG, little web-friendly PNG, Matt Mosley.
I don't know what any of that means, but I was going to real quick look at try to remind myself who got that job at Indiana. Come on now. Oh, DeVries, the guy from West Virginia. He's replacing Mike Woodson, or is it DeVries? Anyway, Darian DeVries, and he was at West Virginia. We hardly knew you. I don't even think they were that great. And Indiana was like, we need that guy. I guess he was very good at Drake. Everybody likes hiring Drake coaches. Didn't Iowa just hire a Drake coach? Anyway, but that's the new coach at Indiana. I'm fine with it. I mean, I don't know. First of all, it doesn't count. Do you really want to throw your team in front of like 25,000 Hoosiers fans who will think this is a huge thing? Like they'll want to win this game, even though it's only an exhibition. I don't see like a ton of upside unless you go there and you put it to them. Now,
I mean, it's always better to practice against people from another team than your own squad. I mean, it's better than another exhibition in the practice facility, I would think.
Well, they do those secret ones, and they've done that with A&M over the years, and I wish they would just play that publicly. Those are secret scrimmages. This, we should note, is a first for the Bears. They don't, now I'm not saying they haven't played an exhibition before, but that's usually like athletes in action or some, bunch of Aussies show up from somewhere and come to town to play. You play an exhibition. Back in the day, Coach Haller and them used to play like a team from like Anchorage, Alaska, and they would show up and they would have a little exhibition. This will be to, raise funding for something. It'd be really nice if they charity. And it would be really nice if some of the players got some of this money. I guess that's a possibility. Sometimes they do things like that, like have kind of an NIL type tie-in to a game like this. So to your point, Scotty, there are ways to do this without exposing your team to like 20,000 of the other team's fans. But that's fine. It's fine. I mean, first of all, it's kind of cool that Scott will be going home. And I, if I were the Hoosiers, I would use the opportunity to honor the Drew family. I'd try to get I don't know if Bryce, he's with his team at Grand Canyon. I don't know if he has time to go, but I'd get Homer there, Homer Drew, and I would use it as a really cool opportunity to recognize and honor a great Indiana family, and that would be the Drew family.
Outside of the state of Indiana, I tried to think of a clever transition there, Matt. I didn't have one. Didn't have one in the bag.
It was a nice dramatic pause while you tried. Yeah.
We're going to move down south. The SEC announced, as you teased, official changes to their scheduling. And I think this is really smart on their part. First of all, they're moving to 9 conference games, I believe, starting next season. There are going to be 3 protected games every year. So your rivalries like your Texas A&M, your Auburn, Alabama, etc., will stay in place every season. Then 6 conference games will rotate. Every team will get the same number of times. They'll all play 9 conference games. That's been a big criticism of how the SEC is scheduled for several years now. And the SEC is requiring its schools to have at least one non-conference opponent from one of the other Power 4 conferences, which I also think is smart, perhaps putting an even further vice grip on a lot of playoff spots. Matt Mosley, I kind of like, though, that instead of just thinking they're entitled to 6 playoff spots a season, at least now they're going to play for it.
6? You're trying to give them 6?
I mean, I think when we go to 16 teams next year, they're going to try to get 6, certainly.
Well, the Big Ten is the one trying to do the 4-4, 2-2-1 mess. And in defense of the SEC, they're fine with the 5+11. Now, do they think this will help them get more teams and have a ton of teams? Yes. 6 just seems like a massive amount. But again, that would be better than freaking what the Big Ten is trying to do right now, which is try to expand this thing to like 20 teams or 24 teams or something stupid. Like, what happens is, because the basketball tournament's been so successful over the years, football's like, well, let's do something like that. Let's have a bunch of play-in games. And it's a joke. Like, you finally get a playoff, and then you even try to screw that up. So I think the only thing the Big Ten is doing is making sure this thing stays at 12 if they keep screwing around like this, because I think Greg Sankey and the SEC is fine just keeping it at 12. If the Big Ten is going to keep doing that. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. They're not ready. They're not yet going to 16. I promise.
I thought they already announced it was going to 16 next year.
No, they've been wanting that to happen, and they want it to happen in 2026, and it could happen. It could happen. So I'm not saying it can't happen, but it has not. That has not been finalized. And so that's why, as long as the Big Ten continues to screw around with all this stuff, Sankey will just keep it right at 12 and be okay with the new format, which is whatever it is, the conference champs. But the thing he didn't like, which I understand, was the seeding. That's what's changed this year. Right. You're not going to get the top 4 seeds or the Power 4 champions or whatever. The seeding won't be done like that, because then it creates this unbalance, and that's why you ended up with some like really lopsided first round games. But to your point, this will be kind of cool in the sense that, okay, they weren't going to do this until they got that metric done. That's why I want to have Mac on soon, because, of course, they wanted that strength of record. I don't think they call it strength of schedule. Correct. It's like a strength of record thing. And once the SEC got what it wanted there, then it felt like it could go to 9 games. So, Scotty, there's only one Power 4 team now, and of course Notre Dame's off doing its own thing, but there's only one Power 4 team conference not playing 9 games, and that would be the ACC. And at least for now, they're not in a hurry to change this. Now, what this knocks out, and you alluded to it, but what I like that it knocks out, I think the SEC was already requiring its teams to do the Power 4 thing, but what this knocks out is that lame you play Presbyterian or, some weak school kind of in November. There was always that weird SEC, and you're like November, at a pretty key time in the season. And there you are in late October or early November, and you're November 5th, and somebody's playing, Alabama's playing Presbyterian or South Florida or something stupid. Now I think they opened with South Florida actually last year, but you know what I'm saying? So I think that'll be good. Now, what I don't know is what we'll talk about now with the SEC, because at every meeting, every Destin meetup, everything, this was a constant source of conversation. So now we'll have to find something new to talk about. All right, Scotty, what else do you have, sir?
Quickly, I would just say I wish the Big 12 would adopt the protected games, 3 protected games. I think that would help the Big 12 as well if the Big 12 moved to that for their 9-game conference.
They only do one. They only do one right now.
They don't even do one per school. They've just designated a very few set of matchups as protected. So I believe Baylor, TCU is protected, Utah, BYU is protected, etc. But not every school has a protected game right now. I almost wish they would do these, and I actually proposed this on a Pete show over the summer. I wish there was like these pods that you got that pod every year, but that's neither here nor there. Hey, last thing, and then we'll get to Cam Stewart, because I think he's rip roaring ready to go. This was a couple of days ago, but it came across my timeline today. Of course, we know Deion Sanders, incredible story, coming off of his battle with cancer. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Still the head coach at Colorado. A lot of questions about that program, a lot of questions about that team, a lot of questions about how long he'll be there. But I saw this video on Twitter, Matt, and I thought it would make you happy to see. I think it says a lot about who Deion is as a head coach, and I like it. So I'll play the clip. You said earlier you wanted a clip. You got a clip. Here's Deion Sanders speaking to his team a couple days ago.
School win tomorrow. No slides. If I see you I'm going to send people to campus tomorrow. If I see you with slides on campus, it's going to be a problem. If I see you with a hoodie on in class or some headphones on in class, it's going to be a problem. If I see you sitting in the back of the classroom, it's going to be a problem. Do we understand that? And if you're online and you have online classes and you don't have a shirt on, or you got a white beat on, or you have some stupid on that causes a distraction, or you walk around during that online session, it's going to be a problem. We good with that, guys? Sure. Now.
Okay.
I thought in an era where we've talked so much about college sports is all about, it's like professionals. It's like all NIL now. It's all money. One of the glitziest glamour programs in the game right now, Colorado. You still got a guy demanding excellence in class, which doesn't surprise us who followed Deion for a while. But thought that was interesting. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think all that's good. I can't help but think watching this Cowboys documentary, like what was Jimmy Johnson saying to the Miami players back then? You think he was don't wear slides. I think it is funny how much swag and how much, and he loves wearing hoodies as much as anybody. So, and by the way,
he's not taking ideas in mathematics. You know, he's not sitting in the front row of a class either. So,
did you take math at Baylor?
I took ideas in mathematics. Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's
I thought you made that up.
Nope, that's the one that all the football players take.
Oh, I took that one, but it was called Fundamentals of Math, FOM. And Howard Roth, who I believe is still with us. Howard's an older gentleman now, did a good job and actually made math somewhat interesting to me. And I always loved him. Always loved Howard Roth as I'd see him going across campus. Always loved running into him. Just a great guy. If anybody's out there and remembers Professor Roth or Dr. Roth, let them know. Mosley still remembers. I still remember my Spanish professors too, had great ones. Baldelio Garza, one of the greats, one of the all-time great. He said, Mr. Senor Mosley, you laugh now, you cry later. He was very
Spanish at Baylor also made me cry. I can't.
I was goofing around, as you might imagine. All right, Cam Stewart, you love him. You asked for him. He's next.
Shades is your trusted partner in stage lighting, offering a wide range of high-quality, innovative products since 2015. With designs that cater to all needs, fast delivery, and affordable prices, we provide exceptional customer service to ensure your satisfaction. With warehouses across the globe and sales in over 100 countries, Sheds is quickly becoming one of the most recognized names in the stage lighting industry. Visit shehds.com today to discover top-tier stage lighting solutions and become part of our global network.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. Developed by our mad developer Alex and tested by riders, our products are made by riders for riders. Discover more at us.muc-off.com, where we break the mold to bring you the best in bike care.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels, our rebounders improve accuracy, control, and technique in both sports. Built with premium materials for durability and ease of use, they're ideal for training anywhere, anytime. Whether you're perfecting your soccer game or sharpening your lacrosse skills, Open Goal USA has you covered. Visit OpenGoalUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Chapellex is a full-category shapewear brand dedicated to providing women with exceptional comfort and support. We offer thoughtfully designed solutions that blend style with functionality, empowering women to feel confident and at ease every day. Chapellex is redefining what it means to have a perfect body. Our mission celebrates body positivity, embracing every shape and size, because true beauty lies in authenticity. Visit shapellx.com today and join a movement towards self-love, acceptance, and confidence.
Indulge in Blum's luxurious Lotus flower rolls. The green Lotus roll bursts with a caramel apple flavor, while the blue Lotus roll offers a smooth berry cream sensation. With our Crush for Flavor technology, enjoy an instant burst of natural, intense flavor anytime you desire. Elevate your experience with the finest creations nature has to offer. Explore the full collection at blumleaf.com. That's BLUUMLEAF.com. Blumleaf. Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
It is the Matt Mosley Show, Rogue Media Network, and Cam Stuart. We're gonna bring him in here, and I'm excited to see him. Oh, there he is. He's got Sailor Bear ready. Cam, in true Mosley journalistic form, earlier today I sat down in a really good-looking Tommy Bahama's BU shirt. Really like it. Looked stunning. But it looked almost too good on camera because I was sitting up and you could see the BU. And I just thought I just couldn't quite do it. Like, talk about Baylor, be the journalist that I am in the BU. And so I shed the shirt. And I think Scotty was a little hurt or a little bit, violated because I was doing a lot of changing right there in front of the camera.
I think you could have kept it on. I mean, anyone can use that logo these days, so you could have just said it was someplace else.
That's a good. I like that. Yeah,
just a free for all.
In your stomping grounds. Did we win that lawsuit against Boston University? They tried to do the interlocking BU. I really feel like I should. We're going to. I feel like I should represent us on that. Hey, I texted you a minute ago because I was like, really, and I'll just ask you because I was kind of excited to see, like, on the Locked In and then on all your other shows, like what you're most fired up about right now. But I do like seeing Sailor Bear. And I don't even know. You've got a lot of, irons in the fire right now. You got a lot going on. And has there been some thought, because I had one Baylor player, the great Eddie Lackey, told me he was thinking about, he wasn't going to come to the game. And then suddenly he decided he got the FOMO. And he's like, yeah. But now he's coming out from like Abilene or somewhere. You would be having to come from, I don't know, Chicago or wherever you were moving here recently. I don't know. What's this? Watch this, Cam. Hold on. This is like a toy for me. Look at that. Ooh, look at that.
Whoa.
Is that a little too harsh? Wow.
It looked a little Blair Witch Mosley for a second.
That's too much.
You backed up. It was okay. Yeah, it's a little bit softer would be better.
Look, let's go softer. Look at that. Softer. Oh, no, let's go higher.
And I apologize for the text because I got a new iPhone today, Mosley, and it's transferring data right now, and it's been doing it for an hour. So I've been locked out of my phone, but it doesn't have like the button on my old one to send it to vibrate. So I keep getting these dings for text messages across the office now, but I can't do anything. I can't go on the phone. So I apologize.
I kind of like that light right there. No, that's okay. By the way, I need to find out like where, like you've been doing some really cool stuff and everything. And then the Locked On family, I'm sorry, you've been locked out of your phone, but are you, like, as we get closer to Friday, is it really hard for you not to make that trip and be on site for what could be really one of the best games of that weekend? Certainly that Friday night, there are two good games. But this is a huge opportunity for Sawyer and Bryson. And I was going to start this out by saying, and this is just occurring to me, this feels like the biggest season opener in like many, many years. Like and I know we've had some that have gone the wrong direction, especially like the whole Texas State thing and all that. Right. I need to bring that up, but like Art didn't play anybody, so there were never what do you mean?
He had a bunch of old SWC rivals. Remember, he would always hype it up. Rice and SMU, this old SWC rival. They're going to come out hair on fire. That was his explaining it away. I mean, he would have shuddered at this new SEC rule that you got to play a Power 4 team. Oh man, you would have hated that. Yeah, it's been a long time, Matt. Like that we've been able to get up for any week 1 game.
Baylor under Grant Taff had some early season games where they would play USC. They would travel to Ohio State. I want to say they traveled to Michigan one time. They may have they beat USC there. I don't know if that was the first game of the season, but the Bears have a history of opening or early season good games. But man, this is what's that?
Boston College, 99. Steele's first game. Up at the Heights at BC, lost in overtime.
At Boston College?
Yes, 99. Tim Hasselbeck was the quarterback. I used this as trivia on Locked On Baylor the other day.
Okay. I do think Art and them opened at UConn one time and maybe even got beat when UConn was kind of decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, this is like it's hard for me to imagine. Like I really, here's what I'm scared of. Like, what if this Auburn quarterback, Jackson Arnold, what if he's like the real deal? Like I love the little stuff. I love making fun of Freeze for all the golf he's played, which is a ton. Because, like that's the one thing you can count on from Miranda. Like he's never going to get caught up in a hobby. Like his hobby is like coming up with more creepers and getting more people on the field, like different coverages. Like there's no, like, I even think that's what he does with his kids. Like I think he's probably a great dad, but I think he's mostly diagramming plays with them.
Well, like salt and pepper, like in The Blind Side. He's got all the spices out on the table. You think that's how he's doing it?
Yeah. And Freeze, literally in July, Freeze is an idiot, by the way. Like, correct. Why would you turn all those scores in? He turned in like 10 to 15 scores to keep his handicap where it needed to be, but it's public record. He's letting America know how much golf he's playing in a sport where the only person that could ever get away with that is Spurrier, because he's funny and he won a ton. Yeah. Freeze is not funny and he's not winning a ton and he's playing a ton of golf. And he's got this quarterback who, I don't know. I mean, like, I have way more, I think they're overhyping John Mateer, but if you said who's going to be better, I would put Mateer way ahead of Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, I agree with that. I kind of like Mateer, but Jackson Arnold is an interesting one because I was so high on him out of high school. You remember him in Denton at Guyer, National Player of the Year and everything. And you remember he was supposed to be the savior at OU. Like they ran Dylan Gabriel out of town a year and a half ago to get Jackson Arnold ready. I think he's going to find some success this year. But like I was saying this on the Auburn show the other day, like you might see this as coach speak and people taking photos and videos out of context. But like, what part of this actually gives you confidence in the Auburn offense? Wide receivers, very good. But when Hugh Freeze says, yeah, we might play 3 different quarterbacks. Oh, yeah, here's our 3 different play callers we've got. Or, yeah, I did say to my defenders to take it easy on our new quarterback in practice so that he gets some confidence. Like, what part of that makes Auburn fans feel good about their offense at the end of this game? You're talking new head coach, new play caller, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback week 1, Matt, on the road.
Yeah, not new head coach, but
sorry, new head coach for the quarterback. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was also something thrown in there on top of that, like, well, okay, who calls the plays, Hugh? And his answer was like, well, we got like one guy calls third down plays, and we got a guy who calls the second down play. But I can overrule anything, and so there's no clear line. I mean, Baylor at least recognized, and of course, Dave had to save his job to do it. But at some point, they're like, okay, like if this guy's great, if this guy's some kind of great defensive coordinator, let's let him lean into it. Hugh Freeze, the one thing he's supposed to be able to do is be a quarterback guru and call a game where he's coming in with 3 quarterbacks and he's doing all this other stuff. And so I don't know. I mean, again, Baylor may lose this game. And I think Vegas, last I saw it, has that moved at all? At one point, it was like a pick 'em, and then it had moved toward Auburn, like a 1.5 or 2 points or something like that. I mean, I think that's total SEC bias. Like, well, it's freaking Auburn, and it's the SEC, so they're pretty good. I mean, Auburn has not been good in, my gosh. I mean, when were they? I mean, even when they had Bo Nix, I don't think they were. He got great when he went to Oregon. It's been a good while since they were great.
Yeah, Bo Nix was the quarterback the last time they won 7 games. That was 6 years ago.
Wow.
Bo was a freshman quarterback the last time they did that. That's crazy, man. That's 1 year post Stidham was the last time they did it. And like, again, we're just supposed to kind of drink the Kool-Aid that, like what you just said, like, oh, well, they're the SEC. Yeah, but they stink. They don't win football games. Hugh Freeze's seat is hot as heck. Okay, like they win football games, and I get it. The SEC is better than the Big 12, but not for nothing. Oklahoma State didn't beat any Big 12 teams last year, and they did beat an SEC team that went to a bowl game and won a bowl game. Like they beat Arkansas, a team that I believe Auburn lost to. That Auburn lost to Cal last year. It's not like they were running the ACC, right? And here's a Baylor team that does not have a number next to its name. But I think you poll most people that watch this conference, they think, sure, Baylor could win this conference. It's not nailed on, but they absolutely are a contender in this conference.
If Baylor starts with wins over Auburn and at SMU, they jump up in the rankings to somewhere around 15 or 16, and then you legit start thinking playoff.
Yeah.
And so there's really almost no schedule in the country that gives a team like Baylor the chance to just go running. And again, even 1-1 is not the end of the world. It doesn't help playoff wise, but it obviously doesn't hurt you conference wise. But the good news is there's no, even Gillingham is trying to play down his team. Now he may think, well, I got this unbelievable quarterback. I mean, the one thing when the Big 12, sometimes we go, well, what's its identity? What do we know it as? And over the years, it's been offense and it's been points. And right now, man, from a quarterback standpoint, SEC does have a few potentially great quarterbacks. Nussmeier, maybe even Mateer, and obviously Arch could be great. Who knows?
Kid from South Carolina, Sellers.
Lenoris Sellers.
Tremendous.
But just from as far as like really solid type quarterbacks, the Big 12 is pretty deep. Now, Scotty has been knocking. I saw him doing it on Twitter today. Somebody was making fun of Avery Johnson, and Scotty jumped in there and kind of is like, I agree.
Scotty's not a big Avery Johnson guy.
No, he's not. He's not. Although,
yeah,
well,
I'm just not as hyped as some people are. Sorry, I want to take that back.
know.
I'm like a 7.5 out of 10 with Avery Johnson still.
He could be like a huge winner type. Like if they got rolling, he could be kind of the face of that thing, right? If like case do. But the good news about the Big 12 is, and I know Baylor in something that just came out was like tied for 5th or something in the which is fine. I'm almost glad that they're not picking that some people aren't picking Baylor. There's literally, other than Arizona State, just based on what they did last year, there's just no clear cut. We have no clue what Bear Bachmeier. We know he's going to wear number 47. That seems like the kiss of death. Oklahoma State has this Hoss Haney, who I love, and I touted to try to come to Baylor. They ended up not recruiting him probably like they should have. But I don't think anybody could really feel that great about picking Oklahoma State. This is a wide open conference because Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas State, and even Kansas to a certain extent, because they have that quarterback who's been there for 7 or 8 years, and they have a new stadium, and they got a really good coach. But the only reason I give Arizona State any kind of edge is because I kind of love that coach. And he's a mean-spirited. He would not fit at Baylor. They would say, well, we have to get the mission fit right. We'd be like, well, okay, we can't have Dillingham. I mean, he's a cussing, over-the-top dude, but I think he can coach. Like, I think he's kind of a bad A. I put he and the Oregon coach in the same boat. Like, I think they're kind of the same guy. But then after him, you got a bunch of good coaches, including the guy at Utah. Who says that Utah couldn't have a bounce-back year? Whittingham, he loved my old show. I don't know if he'll love this new internet thing we're doing. I thought to myself, Cam, how much I used to derisively say, like the internet boys or whatever I would say. And here we are.
Not that long ago.
Streaming. We're streaming. That's what we do. Although I love it, man. Scotty Scotty Swinglers, who I'm speaking of, he'll throw the graphics up or like a video. Earlier today, I'm like, hey, I'd like some audio here, right? And then next thing you know, I'm watching Michael Irvin and Jerry Jones on my screen. Now, Cam, this is second nature for you as a young man who's starting to catch up, starting to knock on 30's door. This is like, but you're no stranger to playing some videos on your screen. But here I am today playing videos, and then there's the picture of me down there on the screen, kind of looking up at it, kind of waving and things. I mean, it's an amazing deal.
It's crazy what we can do now.
It really is. what all are you doing? What all are you up to right now? So you got Locked On Baylor. Mm-hmm. You're still doing some rogue stuff, and I'm sure you're excited because Drake May looks good. You're talking some. I'm sure you're talking a lot of Patriots as you get ready for this season. Maybe even keeping one eye on that Cowboys documentary. There was one other thing that you were kind of interested in here recently. We don't have to address that here, but tell our audience where all they can find you right now.
Yeah, so Locked On Baylor, still doing it 5 days a week on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Also 5 days a week is the Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. Pete, Cam Show, then Mosley. Heck of a lineup we got going. That's almost exclusively Boston sports stuff. So if you're in that niche, follow along. Also, Locked On NHL Game Night, which we are still doing through the summer. It's supposed to be through after every game going on in the NHL, but we're doing it as well in the summer to do season previews too. So all 32 NHL teams, and It's keeping me busy. That and bathing the dog, man, it's keeping me busy.
Yeah. I intervened and was really tried to get you hooked up with some Locked On stuff. Never felt like you really were grateful for that. But I do think, man, that's awesome that you're getting to do some Boston stuff, some NHL stuff. I think that's very solid. When are you getting married? And I know you can't reveal everything, but I just want to preemptively try to get on I really feel like I should be invited. I mean, that's a long trip, and I guess that would happen in Charlotte or somewhere like that. It's a lot to ask of me, but I do want to be invited, and I will send you a very nice gift, even if I'm not able to come. Do we know, are we projecting anything in the future, or where are we in that process?
I would say before the end of my 30th year, the ceremony will be done. Honeymoon will be done. How about that? That gives you 2 years to play with.
Are you 28?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Well, I've surrounded myself with youngsters. And,
you will. This is the problem. I think you will still have a kid in college. So factor that into travel plans.
Just don't do it during the fall. Just have a summer, be normal, and don't do I got married on August 8th, and now that's in the middle of training camp looking back. But I wasn't doing that when I got married 27 years ago. I have a big head start on you, by the way, marriage-wise. That's it.
I think that's good enormous. Spring wedding. Maybe during either first or second round of NBA, NHL playoffs.
And you don't have you don't have the green and gold game in the way anymore. They don't really do anything like that.
No, I've missed the practice.
By the way, I've been the worst fall camp guy, or whatever we call this, fall. I have not. Yeah, Baylor fall camp. I've just been monitoring from afar. We do have Faith and Scotty. We've got some people there on the scene, and I think that's been good. Let me ask you this, from a Baylor standpoint, since people really enjoy hearing your Baylor takes. Other than Sawyer and Bryson, I'm just kind of curious, what do you, when you're doing those daily Locked On Baylor shows, is there, and it could be the D-line with those big, huge nose tackles. It could be the O-line where they have some continuity and they have some good players coming back. What facet of this team excites you the most? It could be wide receiver, because honestly, they're very deep there. And I sent you something today where one of the guys, what's that guy's, Cole Wilson? I kind of like him. I kind of forget where he even came from, but he transferred in from somewhere. That he was acting like Jaden Porter, who's our old friend from Lorena, right? Mm-hmm. And he's they're all acting like that guy's for sure an NFL player. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's pretty interesting to me. What facet of this team has you most excited?
Yeah, I would say excited, it probably is wide receiver. Fascinated, it might be that pass rush defensive line, because they need to see big improvement there, and that could hopefully help the coverage. But in terms of this receivers, Matt, you kind of hit it on it at the end there. It's not just Josh Cameron's an awesome receiver. He's terrific. I think he could have a 1,000-yard season this year. He's obviously a great punt returner as well. Getting Ashton Hawkins back, huge, right? But I think it's what Dave said last week after the second scrimmage that kind of opened my eyes at the depth of this room. You talk about Cole Wilson, comes in from Texas State. same style and same kind of numbers that Ashton Hawkins put up at Texas State. And we knew he made the jump pretty well. He was the second leading receiver last year. You look at Lewis Brown. They bring in from Colorado State. Dave was just raving about this guy.
Oh, yeah. That's who I was thinking about.
We've got. Yeah, and Jaden Porter's getting talked up. And, I don't know how much we'll see of Taz Williams, the true freshman this year, coming off an ACL. Don't know. And that's not even talking about Kobe Prentice from Alabama.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about this, like Auburn specifically in that game. Auburn has NFL corners. And I've got people in my comment section every day telling me how great this Auburn defense is and how great the Auburn cornerbacks are. And I get it. But I'm not talking about the 1 and 2 matchups here. Number 1 CB, number 1 receiver, and so on. I'm talking like the number 4 receiver. Baylor can throw a bunch of different guys at you, different sizes. And that's not even taking into account the fact that they've got a freak athlete at tight end who can go out there and catch just about any route you throw him. And I'm thinking the depth of this room is where the offense can really thrive. Like they could throw 5, 6, 7 different pass catchers on you in a game. I don't think that's that crazy, including a running back who can catch out of the backfield that we kind of found out late last season. Bryson Washington can do that. So I'm really excited about the depth of this receiver room specifically.
All right. And would you mind today in the next couple of things, because we want you to be on our show sometimes, our Green and Gold pregame show. Will you tell your audience, like, hey, Mosley asked for me to pass along to you guys, go ahead and subscribe? Because I want to, that first week, we'll end up bringing in a bunch of people who are just kind of wandering around like, I wonder what I'm going to check out. And so we'll grab a bunch of people, but I'd like to kind of hit the ground running. So if you wouldn't mind telling your group, and I might even, can I bring myself to ask Drake to do it? I don't know. That's too much.
Reaches a lot of people. I'll be sure to tell.
I appreciate it. I don't know if Drake.
I know Scotty's been working real hard, and this is going to be an awesome show.
Drake's too much of a me. I'm afraid Drake's too much of a me guy to do it, but we'll try. I may think about asking Drake.
Well, Drake's going to be working with one of your friends this fall, so maybe they could both talk about it a little bit. A friend of the Matt Mosley show, Baylor coaching legend. He coached somewhere else in the Big 12. TCU. Coached at TCU for a while.
He's doing something with Patterson? What is that?
That's a new Locked On college football show.
Oh my gosh.
So tune into that.
They've nailed down Gary Pat. Like, when will this run?
I mean, it's week 1 next week. So I'm guessing next week. I guess I'm speaking out of turn now because I don't know exactly when it starts. But
oh my gosh,
here soon on your Fire Stick.
Oh my gosh, I probably should have talked to Gary about this.
It'll be fine.
Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. I'll have to check that out. Are you watching the? You just really derailed me with this news.
I knew.
Yeah, I was like, that's too weird. Are you watching the Cowboys Netflix documentary? Have you been investing some time in that to learn about the past and the making of a dynasty of the 1990s?
I have saved it for tonight. Tonight I am starting it. I'm
Okay.
looking forward to it. Pete has been talking it up big time, but I get, and I've heard good things about it so far, early returns. I'm just always conflicted when these folks have such a hand in the production. Like, apparently it's not like this Patriots one that came out a year or two ago was an embarrassment. Like, it was just a Kraft family advert for 30 minutes, or 60 minutes for 10 episodes or whatever it was. I'm hearing that this is not like that. And I'm bummed that it's only the 90s because I was really hoping to see a Matt Mosley talking head on Netflix. I think they still could have reached out to you. I think that's still a miss on their part.
Yeah, apparently, I mean, you can't do one of these things without my old co-host, Randy Galloway, who was famously, he was on a radio show at WBAP when Jimmy called in and said, put it in 3-inch headlines. We're going to go win this football game before the title game, I think, against San Francisco. And it was an extremely famous moment.
Mm-hmm.
And well, no, it wasn't San Francisco. Actually, now that I think about it, anyway, that came later. But there was a report from our man Clarence Hill that said Randy declined to be a part of this thing. Now, some reporters said, I need you to compensate me. And they did, by the way. Netflix, I won't say who, but Netflix did. Some did not ask that.
Is there a pal Norm on this, by the way?
I would have been, he would need to be. But
Yeah.
I was not going to worry about that. But then I did see like some clip of a guy like who Ward White's has on a lot, who none of us have ever seen, like at a Cowboys event. And I was just like, okay, now that's embarrassing. Like if you're featuring someone who does not really follow the team or cover the team and has no credential and has no relationship with the team, I know this is a new era, but something like this, that's weird.
It's like me on a Baylor documentary. I had that problem with the big Celtics one that Simmons did, because like Donnie Wahlberg and Belle Biv DeVoe are some of the talking heads on this history of the Celtics.
But they just felt like they could bring people
nowhere to be found.
They felt like they could bring people in by having celebrities. Even on this Cowboys thing, the first episode, they're using to talk about like the early 60s Cowboys, they're using George W. Bush. Well, first of all, he was born 1945, so he would have been 17 or 18 when the Kennedy assassination happened. Again, not that he can't talk about that era, but he was talking about it like he was like kind of in the middle of the Cowboys mix.
Yeah, that's
and his dad, at one point, he did live in Midland at some point, but his dad was in Washington, and George went to Yale, and then he did something at Harvard, and then he did something.
He went to prep school in Massachusetts too.
Yes,
He's at Belichick school. So
he's at Andover. He's got zero connection to any of that Cowboy stuff from any of those eras. Now, at least with the 90s Cowboys, at some point he became governor in there and he owned the Rangers. So he had a little bit more of a connection. He started owning the Rangers maybe even in the late 80s, but it was weird.
The point is, you could have spoken better or just as well to all of that.
I grew up on it,
covered the team, and knows the team's history inside and out. Like that's more legitimate. You weren't president, but you probably would have been better. But you could have easily done just as much as W did in that documentary.
Yeah, just probably don't have quite the standing, the platform that the former president has.
It's neck and neck.
I would say Werder was fighting to get on that thing. Like I was like, if they want to come to me, I'll do it. I'll probably do it.
Yeah.
And I might not even charge them. Who knows if they come to me. By the way, there was Simmons worked on a short documentary that Jason, what's his name, who was a part of the Ringer for a while, and it was about Bennett Salvatore basically almost seemingly throwing that 2006 series with the Mavs and Dwayne Wade.
Mm-hmm.
And I was covering those games, and I was featured prominently in recording and doing that documentary, and they just like scrapped it. Like they never ran it, any of it. And I don't know. Maybe, but I was totally a part of that one. And that would have been kind of fun to be on a Bill Simmons type documentary. I was right in the middle of that one. It was a younger Mosley. I graduated from Baylor in 95. And so that thing was being done in about 2008 or 2009 or 2010. It was kind of a young Mosley type situation. Yeah, it would have been fun.
You could have recommended for me to be on the Celtics one all those years later. It
could have
worked out really well for both of us.
I would have put you on that. Okay, are the Patriots? They have a shot this year? Like at anything? Like are they still the building stage, or does Vrabel immediately put them back into playoff conversation?
I think honestly, this is kind of a cop out, but I think it's a little bit of both. I think they should be a team over 500. I've got them optimistically at 9-8. The thing is, Mosley, they play a last place schedule, and it might be the easiest in the league. It's last place in the AFC. In the NFC division, they face is the South. So Tampa, Carolina at home, New Orleans, they're going to win some of those games.
Yeah.
And I think Miami's going to take a step back. So there is a world where they could finish second in the AFC East. They are still building though. Like they are not. 9-8 would be an overachievement, I think, for the eyes of the rest of the league. They don't have much depth at all. If they make a Trey Hendrickson type move, which is on the table, that really elevates them. I think they'll have a top 10 defense, and I think they will have a good enough offense. I think there's going to be a lot. They're not going to run Drake May as much. And he's not going to be the gunslinger he was last year. Vrabel just hates that, and McDaniels hates running the quarterback. So it'll be an adjustment. But the last 2 years, they've had a bunch of games where they didn't win because they couldn't score 2 touchdowns. I think they'll be better than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good quarterback, and the coach just has so much more credibility. Even watching him
work a clock.
Even watching how he chews up some of those reporters. He's so much more in the Belichickian. I mean, I know that other guy played for Belichick, but what a bad hire that turned out to be. And this shed light on the fact that they should have just grabbed Vrabel immediately when he got fired. Like, it doesn't make any sense that they tried something else, and Vrabel's now ready to go, and he's perfect. I mean, again, I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest coach ever, but he's way more like Belichick. He's way more like Dan Campbell. And right now, Dan Campbell is that's the comparison. Everybody wants the next Dan Campbell. And Vrabel's kind of wired that way. The way he carries himself, the former player, that's the way he is. So now at least you have a coach that everybody can kind of be proud of. And you'll get mad at him, and he'll make weird decisions. And there'll be moments where you're like, I thought he's going to be better than this. But the truth is, he's respected, and he carries himself like a big-time football coach. And he's funny, and he's weird, but he's mean. And you need somebody that's feared to be the Patriots coach to fit into that whole deal. And they had gotten away from all that. The Cowboys just kind of go around like, oh, man, this guy's dad was famous. Oh, this guy won a Super Bowl like 10 years ago. Let's try him. Like, they just really flail. They flick the flail around. Oh, this guy we liked him. He was a backup quarterback for us, 10 years ago. He's really smart. He went to Princeton. Yeah. All right. Here's the deal. Cam, the first segment of the day, I went like 37 minutes. I've just kept you for 38 minutes. That was fun. Love doing it. And, if you ever learn how to play nice with Baylor, we'll even do this more. No, I'm kidding. We love having you.
I'm learning.
You're doing great. And somebody from Baylor PR even was like, hey, how's Cam doing? So people still ask about you, and they like you and all that kind of stuff. It's just your headline writing that has always gotten you in trouble. But maybe even you've gotten, you've cleaned that up a little bit. Hey, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you being on, and always good to see you with that mic, man. Just kind of holding that. Yeah. There's just something about it's kind of like, it's kind of like the Improv night or the Comedy Store or like wherever Pauly Shore's mom ran in L.A. You just feel like you might be able to jump up there with Mitzi Shore. I think we lost her, perhaps.
I think so.
All right, I better watch that.
You're going to turn into me. Yeah, you're turning into me like on the old show. But yeah, Matt, anytime. I love getting back in the Mosley swing of things here.
Yeah. Yeah, and anything I can do to help you, I'd be happy to do it, all right? Always there for you. There he goes, Cam Stuart. You know him, you love him, and you can follow him right here at Rogue Media Sports, the Cam Show. He does a really nice job. Scotty likes him too. I think so. I think Scotty is fine with Cam. Scotty gets along with most people. It's the Mosley Show. We continue. Got a little bit to share with you as we head into the weekend. This Micah thing continues. We'll see if we have a second to let you see something. Drew Pearson was great yesterday. May be able to play a little clip for you and react to it. We'll do it next.
Are Are you ready to take control of your health? At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. Say goodbye to long waits and office visits. Check your health on your own terms with 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today and free yourself from traditional medicine. That's the number 4uhealth.com. Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today. At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Our research-backed bioavailable formulas are crafted with your health in mind, ensuring the highest quality and safety. From preconception to pregnancy and beyond, we exceed industry standards with independent testing for harmful contaminants. With our comprehensive practitioner directory, personalized care is always within reach. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at fullwellfertility.com. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. We put every machine through 6,000 rigorous tests to guarantee long-lasting performance. With cutting-edge technology and a commitment to energy efficiency, Gevi makes your life easier, greener, and more convenient. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more. That's gevi.com.
Have you ever watched true crime television and wondered, how did they get that story?
I can show you. I was a producer for 48 Hours on CBS News.
In my exclusive tell-all book, I'll take you where no audience has ever gone before. Don't miss out. Secure your copy of Killer Story, The Truth Behind True Crime Television today. Available everywhere books are sold.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. We use the finest materials like Italian top-grain leather, known for its durability and luxurious feel, and apply meticulous attention to detail in every piece we create. Our replicas are crafted with the same care and precision as the originals, but a price that makes them accessible. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. Using advanced tech fabrics that are 100% waterproof, UV tear, and abrasion resistant, we ensure lasting durability with hand-sewn double-stitch seams. Our commitment to quality, precision engineering, and customizable options is unmatched. With vertically integrated operations and express shipping, we deliver premier protection at affordable prices. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
We haven't been looking for you. Wake up.
Hellhound Country, available anywhere you get your podcasts. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Matt Mosley Show on the Rogue Media Network. And wow, it's been a fun one. Been fast-paced. Great to have Scotty Swingler. We just had Cam Stuart on with us for a while, and we are getting closer and closer to football season, college football season. In fact, this weekend, tomorrow, we'll have games. There's a game in Dublin. There's a Big 12 game. There's a lot of fun stuff happening. Sign up, and our green and gold pregame show will be out there from, and you can follow it on YouTube. There'll be places all over out there at McLean Stadium. We'll be, if you want to see us doing it, we'll be across MLK over there at the Camp Fimfo tent. And we're going to have a nice setup, and we'll be excited to interact with some of you. As you're all tailgating and all, there'll be different ways to jump on with us. YouTube's going to be the easiest. And I think if you will just type in the search words green and gold, you'll find us. But Scotty, remind everybody the words to put in so they could subscribe and then follow us all season.
Yeah. If you go to YouTube and search for Green and Gold Game Day, you should see it pop up. The logo is really sweet, looks all professional like a college football program should. If you open the page, you'll see at the top it says Lynch, Mosley, Swingler. You're in the right place. That's us. Green and Gold Game Day.
All right, Green and Gold Game Day. It's all coming up. It's all happening. And then Scotty, I just emailed you. I mean, it's pretty sweet. Just it's like we just have signing parties. We just had. We knew they were on the way, and I just kept talking about them because I knew they would follow us over from my former show, the former Matt Mosley show, over on the radio side of things. But Craig Cherry and Scott James, Johnson, Sigmund, that great law firm, they've made it official at a big signing party. I'm sure they're over there right now, Scotty, and we'll try to get them involved as well in the pregame show because that'll be a lot of fun. But it's just fun, man. Between Brazos Landing and Central National Bank and with Craig Cherry, who I went to law school with, Scott James, who I've known all my life. I mean, these folks are all huddled around right now watching our new streaming show. And that's a lot of fun. And we'll have more and more subscribers as we continue to do our thing. And Scotty, today it's just been a lot of fun to put everything up on the screen, to be able to do so much more, the way we can impact and interact with our people. And then, Scotty, the best way, if people want to text us during the show, the old text toy we used to call it, but if they want to text us or get something in, obviously you can tweet at us. And we're both pretty active on Twitter, and Scotty's really good at like putting some of those tweets up. But if somebody wanted to, now, Scotty, I'm not sure. I don't know if we want to start encouraging people to call just yet. That's a whole different level. But I think if they want to text us, what's the easiest way to do that?
Hey, I'll tell you what, Matt, we've had a pretty active live chat here most of the day, actually.
Good. Oh, that's on YouTube. Yeah,
on YouTube. So I know that at one point, right at the top, you were talking about the Rangers, tough blow for the Rangers.
Yeah.
Let's see right here. I was trying to remember what this Matt. Yes. Oh, when you said Jerry's trying to get a 9th episode of that documentary, Bobby B was like, yes, Bear the Truth. Our friend says the Cowboys is just a PR machine these days. Let's see what else people chimed in. I think I'm hoping this is about the pregame show. Sounds like fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Hobo Hugh won't be able to survive the season. Some strong words there for Hugh Freeze. There you go.
Hobo Hugh.
We've had some pretty good interaction today.
I like that. People getting involved. Tell a friend, phone a friend. It's kind of like inviting people to church. Just get out there and let them know what we're doing. Highland, if you're want to see Scotty on a Sunday morning or something, just getting up there. How's that praise and worship team out there? Do they have a pretty good one?
They're pretty good, Matt. Pretty good.
Can you play the guitar or sing or do anything? Is there anything you can help out in that regard?
I have offered not to help out in that regard for the time being. However, keep it between you and me, Matt Mosley. If you go to Spotify and type in my name, you might just find a couple of tunes. You might just.
Couple of what? Like songs?
Couple tunes. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Scotty Swingler, Christian rapper.
That's
it. Yeah, you remind me of some guys that were like on my hall at Penland, 193 South was where I was, down in the corner, and we would have some of the most hellacious, it wasn't T-licious, it was hellacious, like Nerf hoop games. I mean, dropping my daughter off at the dorm, and I was kind of wondering, like, where's she going to go? Where's she eating? And I think most parents do this these days. And Scotty, maybe someday you will. Your daughter's too young right now, but like the whole Life 360, like all these parents especially the empty nesters. They're like, okay, this is sad, and yeah, it's a big moment. And then they sit, and I have not been doing this, okay? I will say, I've done a pretty good job of not doing this. But they keep their kids on Life 360, and they just monitor where all they're going. And I kept seeing, right, that first 24 hours, I was kind of bad about it. I'm like, wonder what she's doing. Wonder what my daughter's up to. I mean, I've kept tabs on her for 18 years. It's crazy when they're suddenly gone. And so it's kept saying, like, Farm to Market Road, 1960. And I'm like, my thoughts are like, is there a pasture party? What are they doing? Why is she out there on the farm road? And then it dawned on me, like, that's like the address for a dorm. Like, it's just, I think it's called, it's on an FM road or something. And I'm just like, where are they? Why are they out on a farm market road? That's not good. Oh, my goodness. Scotty, do we have time for one of these things? We may save a little bit for Monday. Monday's going to be huge because we're going to be getting ready for everything. Which one from Drew do you want to go with here? Because I liked his shoddy thing. I liked his thoughts on the documentary. Which one would you rather go with here? I think we only have time for one, really.
Let's do his comments on Schottenheimer. Those surprised me. Okay.
This is the legendary Drew Pearson, Pro Football Hall of Famer, who joined us yesterday. And after getting on to me for I was goofing around too much, he later in the interview, I asked him about what he thought about Schottenheimer, and he had been around Schottenheimer at this practice, and he was able to talk about what he witnessed and what he thinks, how he thinks Schottenheimer is going to do with the Cowboys.
Reed, a big part of his success up there in Kansas City is the respect those players had for him. And, when he says jump, they ask him how high. How high should we jump? And so you have to have that kind of respect, and that's the kind of respect we had for Coach Landry. And hopefully these guys will have that same kind of respect for Schottenheimer. And being around Schottenheimer in the situations so far, I like the fire. I like the energy, I mean, he's going around clapping, he's cussing in the meetings and stuff like that. I don't necessarily condone cussing, but this is football, all right? Get out the choir, get out the dresses, let's talk some football. And so he's that kind of guy, and motivates the guy. I watch them going through their practices. Nobody's walking around. Everybody's running from drill to drill. Everybody's excited. Everybody's clapping. Everybody's shouting. It's a great atmosphere, and that's what you got to have. Football's exciting. And I think, with the lack of success we've had in Dallas, we've lost that edge. We've lost the enjoyment, the excitement of football, the excitement of pro football, the excitement of Dallas Cowboy football. So I see that coming back, and I see that coming back to the addition of Schottenheimer. Plus, he's been there. He knows how it's been the last couple of years. So he wants to change all that. He knows what he's got to do to change that, to get them going in the right direction.
All right. Now, Scotty, I'll be interested to hear kind of what jumped out on for you from that. But wow, like the fire. I think Drew obviously felt like some of the past coaches did not involve the legends of the past. I think he felt very appreciated that they had some of the greats out at practice the other day, and then just sort of seemed to, like a lot of people are talking about, fed off the energy that Shoddy's bringing. And, I get what he's saying. I mean, Garrett was a kind of a clapper, and it was a meek clap. And then McCarthy was a tough Pittsburgh guy, but he didn't bring a lot of juice, didn't bring a lot of excitement to the table. And so someone that's fiery, and of course, Drew played for someone who had this icy, steely exterior and was not fiery, but was respected and was one of the greatest coaches of all time. I did find, and I want to hear what you have to say about that, Scotty, but I found it funny that in this documentary, it's just two different kind of claps, right? The clapper they called Garrett, is kind of this, just kind of a nothing. And then Jimmy had this up high thing that he did, and for some reason, because it was Jimmy, that felt like something. Like, that's a good clap. That's a good solid. The way Jimmy did it felt like a real appropriate clap. But we hated the Garrett clap. I found that kind of interesting in the clap comparison. But what about what Drew said kind of surprised you?
Well, listen, Matt, we'll have an opportunity to dig into this as we get into the season. I said this a lot on Pete's show. I've never enjoyed the way Jerry Jones hires coaches. I'm sure you've discussed this many times during your time on the radio, both in Waco and in Dallas. I just don't think the best of the best coaches want to work for Jerry Jones. As we're in the midst of this contract bonanza with Micah Parsons, I wonder what kind of coaches would put up with it. So when he hired Brian Schottenheimer, I'm sitting here thinking no other NFL teams had him on the radar. He's the OC who wasn't even calling plays. I did not understand it. I did not get it. There were some reports very early on that he was Dak's guy, which you know how I feel about Dak Prescott, so that didn't encourage me. I like hearing Drew Pearson say this. I am very pessimistic about how this season's going to go for the Dallas Cowboys. I hope for Schottenheimer's sake, he gets more than just this season to prove what he's worth, because I think there's several things around this team right now that don't lead to winning football that have nothing to do with him. But it is encouraging because Drew Pearson, A, old school guy, B, tells it straight. I don't think Drew Pearson is kissing anyone's butt to push a narrative. So I will say that hearing him say that was probably the most encouraged I have been about the hire since it was made. Just because, again, on paper, so underwhelming as a head coaching candidate to me. And I just don't tend to trust Jerry's. After Garrett and even McCarthy, I didn't like that hire at the time. I just don't tend to trust Jerry's selection. I feel like, he had gold with Jimmy, and then later probably had the best coach he's ever had with Parcells, and that didn't work. So, of course, you covered all of that. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm very pessimistic about the season, but I like what he's saying. I like the idea of it.
Parcells did get him to the playoffs in 2003, and then in his final season with the Cowboys in 2000. Let's see, when did the 2006, and brought back credibility, and they really should have gone to the Super Bowl, or at least the NFC title game, in 2007. That's when the Giants came back and beat them. And the Cowboys had the whole Cabo experience, and during that week, they were number one seed in the NFC. And Wade Phillips coached that team in 2007. But that's interesting that you brought that up. I did cover those teams, and so when they do a documentary about the Parcells years, maybe I'll be front and center in that. I did send you, by the way, Scotty, a picture of they just revealed the new statue of Adrian Beltre, the great Rangers third baseman. And I like how they did it. It's kind of funny because he would always swing and go down on that one knee. And it's kind of funny that that's how they did the statue. And then they had Elvis Andrus get up there during the ceremony and rub his head like he used to do. That would make him so mad after home runs and in the dugout. And they had a very funny kind of comedy routine going back and forth. So there it is. There it is. The statue has been put out there, and you can now visit that at Globe Life. All right, Scotty, thanks, buddy. That was a great job today. Incredible stuff, and just 2 hours of fun. And we're just going to continue to grow this thing. And we're going to have a lot of fun, and appreciate, Ascension Providence and Brazos Landing right here at the ends when we do the landing. And Craig Cherry and his law firm with Scott James, Johnson, Sigmund. Incredible group. We just keep growing this thing. Schmaltz's is on its way in. And we're closing deals left and right. If you want to be part of this show, reach out to us. Reach out to me on Twitter, or you could DM me, or you can reach out to Scotty. We're out there surfing around social media, or even my Facebook. If you want to DM me somehow there, or whatever we call it on Facebook, instant message me. I kind of stay away from that, by the way. But all right, everybody, thanks for being a part of this one. It has been the Matt Mosley Show on the Rogue Media Network. We'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.